presidential election. Dylan Byers and Donnie O'Sullivan have tracked one meddling effort that bridged everything from Facebook and Twitter to YouTube, Tumblr, and even Pokémon Go. So, Dylan's up live. Pokémon?
Pokémon, Brooke.
No
this
way.
went far beyond, it did. It went far beyond Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, which is owned by Google. Those three companies have been called to a public hearing next month. But this was so much bigger. This account called Don't Shoot Us, which was posing as a part of the Black Lives Matter movement, used all of these platforms to effectively create an ecosystem where these messages highlighting police brutality, trying to galvanize African-American outrage over police brutality, those would be reinforced across a network of platforms. And with some influence, actually, we look and we see, YouTube videos that together were viewed more than 350,000 times, a Facebook page that had more than 250,000 likes. All of these linked to each other, linked through an account that was registered to an address that actually turned out to be a shopping mall in Illinois. That Tumblr page promoted a Pokémon Go competition where if you went to sites where there had been alleged incidents of police brutality and you named your Pokemon after those victims, for instance, naming Pikachu Eric Gardner, if you won that competition, this promotion suggested, you might win a free Amazon Prime card. So every social network we think about, every sort of digital platform that we think about, the Russians were trying to exploit those in order to create this network and reinforce the idea that these were legitimate accounts being run by Americans. In fact, they were being run out of the Internet Research Agency, that shadowy troll farm linked to the Kremlin that we've been talking about so much.
And when you hear all of this, you don't have the answer to the question, but it's like the crux of this whole thing. How did they know who to target, where to target, what the issues would be? Did they have any kind of American help? Well,
that is right, and Brooke, that is the big question. It's the question that Special Counsel Robert Mueller is looking at. It is the question that congressional investigators are looking at. Was there any help? Was there any overlap? That's a question that was put to Sheryl Sandberg this morning in an interview 3 times. She refused to answer that question, what Facebook knew about whether or not there was any collusion. But look, the strategy here and the sophistication in terms of understanding how to push Americans' buttons, in understanding what issues were already divisive in American society, in American culture, they clearly understood that well. And as we've reported in the past, these these accounts imitating Black Lives Matter activists understood to target communities like Baltimore and Ferguson. And then when you start to think about the ways they encourage people to go out and actually be active in the real world, through things like Pokemon Go, through organizing protests, in this case with the Don't Shoot Us account, even contacting local news organizations about rallies they were trying to organize, you begin to understand just how sophisticated this effort was.
It is mind-boggling. Dylan Byers, keep digging. Thank you so much for that.